Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to talk about a cooler. The classic Thermaltake Classic AXP90-X53. They actually come in different models as well. I think they're X59 or something like that, which is just a difference on the height of the cooler. I'm not going to do performance reviews of the cooler, not anything like that. What I want to talk about with this cooler, now if in case any of you want to know, it's compatible with Intel and AMD, and that's both LGA 1150X, LGA 1700 and AM4. And I bought this for my ITX motherboard. Okay, so I bought it for this tiny little ITX motherboard. Now, the reason I bought this is because it was cheap. I think I paid only £18 for it on Amazon. And it's quite a nice looking cooler. I mean, I reckon it's going to give you the same performance as the, Wraith's Stealth cooler from AMD. But when I read the reviews on Amazon, there was quite a few bad reviews, and I thought, oh, it's obviously people that don't know what they're talking about, or something. Now, most of the reviews, and that's what we're going to cover here, is Thermaltake made one unnecessary design issue with this. Well, unnecessary, I mean, basically they could missing a part. Now, let's go over there's some concerns on the Amazon listing, what people had. Now, if we look at the backplate, now this is a backplate for the cooler, okay? So we got these that's sticking outside. These are for Intel. And we got these that are for AMD. Now, if we have a look, you can see, obviously this is metal. Quite a nice piece of metal. It's got plastic on it to obviously protect traces on the motherboard, and same for AMD. It's got the plastic sheet on there. Now, all the problems on the listing comes to one silly mistake, and that's what we'll go through here now. And all the problems comes from the same thing, actually. Now, one guy said this can short out your motherboard. Now, if you line it up with the holes here, you can see there's just enough space for this metal not to touch any of these capacitors or anything. But you notice how big that hole is, and you can notice that this can move around. And yes, it might be able to touch it and cause a short, especially if it goes that way. And then you say, but no, it shouldn't. Well, let's have a look here and how they want you to install this. So the cooler, obviously you're going to have your motherboard. Now, I've got the proper AM4 standoffs here. Now, if you put it in here, and that's one thing I've noticed as well, is that you can't align it properly. Now, have a look at that. You can go there, you can go there, you can go there. Now, obviously, a more experienced person will try to line it in the middle, then put the backplate on, then take a little nut, try to balance with one hand, try to get it in with one hand. Okay. I'm a little bit shaky. I didn't think I'd have enough coffee this morning. Alright, let's just get it installed there. We're not going to tighten it yet. I just want to get it to grip on there. I'm only going to do 2 for now. So, there we go. Okay, we've got 2. Now you can see, well, it's getting a little bit closer. Now you can still move it around, but now you've got thermal paste. Let's assume you've got thermal paste on a cooler because that you want to install it. You don't want to move it around because you don't want to spray the thermal paste out and all that. So, but now you have to tighten it. Okay, so we'll assume that's the position. All right. So Let's tighten it. And this is where the second problem comes in place here. I'll tighten it. And that's the second problem is I can tighten this until, well, until I'm blue in the face, because if we have a look there, I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but there's nothing stopping this from going all the way down. Now you would say, oh no, it's designed to go all the way down. And I would say, no, it's not. You're basically bending it and you're putting too much pressure on the motherboard. It just doesn't look right. And I mean, you're going to turn this and turn this to get all the way down. You're going to have a part of a screw sticking out. And you're going to put so much pressure on the CPU. Now, if we look, let's just take this off. Let's take that off. I wish that was magnetic, but it's not magnetic. All right, so take it off. Take it off. All right, so you see where the problem can come in with this cooler. Now, if we look at the original AMD backplate, here's the original AMD backplate, yeah? You can see we've got standoffs. Now, if we put it in there, you can see it. There's a little bit of play, but you can't sort out any of those capacitors on the back there. And that you got, and then obviously your normal cooler will go in there. It's spaced right, just perfectly. So I had a look at this and I thought to myself, hold on a second. Can't we just use this backplate with this? And the answer is, yes you can, because look there. It fits perfectly in there. And you got a little bit there, and then you're going to have your right height. Perfect. But I went one step further and I was like, because I want to use this plate and another bolt. And this is where Thermaltake could have made this a little bit easier, is with a cheap fix. Here we go. Here's my cheap fix. Whoa. And there's one gone. Okay. I just 3D printed a little spacer. And there's another one gone. So I 3D printed these little spacers to match the exact same height as those. And which would actually help. So if we put them on, hold on, I need to find the ones that I dropped now. So I found the ones that I dropped. All right, so we put them on. All right, now let's put some thermal paste on. What we're gonna go for? MX4, thermal Grizzly. Oh, the box does come with thermal paste. Yeah, with some MX6 or some thermal Grizzly. Let's go thermal Grizzly. Please don't hate on my thermal paste application. Well, I think this one might be used too much already. I don't feel like there's much left in there. All right. Now let's have a look here. All right. So we're going to put you, we'll put it on this way. So now if we line it up with my 3D printed spacers, and you see, voila. And we got it on. Where did I put those nuts? Now, as with my little spacers I've 3D printed and the back plate, there's a little bit of play, but exactly to the original AMD backplates tolerances. So there's enough for that to grip on. Let's get that on and get that on. All right, and now we can tighten them. So there's a little bit tight there. Let's spread it all over. And now with the spaces I've 3D printed, I don't have to really worry about over tightening. And I don't know if you guys can see, the space is doing their job. CP coolers on nicely. It's sitting perfect with a cooler. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that. And there's no issues of shorting out here because everything's spaced perfectly. And yep, that's tight, that's tight, that's tight, that's tight. Problem solved. Now, I don't know why Thermaltake couldn't do this when they manufactured this, just to do little spaces for it. Unless, I don't know, they want you to over tighten it, want you to force it all the way down. Because if you look at the legs, let's have a look at the Intel ones because they're very similar, obviously just different sizes. So that's the Intel one. So there's a piece of rubber there. I mean, even look at how long this one is. So if you've ever done any type of cooler installation, you would automatically think that, yeah, that little foam thing must touch the motherboard and then it'll be on tight. But I mean, there's about, I have to guess, about 5 mil from the motherboard to that foam thing. That's going to be a lot of tightness. And this is going to overstick. And the cooler's pretty on there. It's solidly on there. And I wish you guys could see, but there's a good spread of thermal paste. I can just barely see it coming out on the edges there. And I mean, like I showed, you can't even tighten this anymore. Well, you can force a little bit there. But yeah, it's tight. And that's it. Just a little spacer, just about same frame. Okay, Intel, I've done it for Intel board on me at the moment to test the same principle, but I'm sure could do a similar principle on Intel for that, is to actually see the distance. And I can understand why they didn't do that. Now, I've got a 700G on here. Let's power it on and actually see what's going on. Is it going to thermal throttle? It's going to tell me no. Okay, my hand is not that steady, so there's excuse any shakiness in the video footage. So it's going to be another long video. See if I got a closer look shot of that. Now this is just booting off this little SanDisk here. This is going to take forever, isn't it? Should have brought a spare mouse out as well. Don't know if I've got any temperature monitoring software loaded on that Windows. Sorry for the shaky hands. Right. Do I have any temperature monitoring software on here? No. Don't have any CPU monitoring, temperature monitoring software. Voltage just seems fine. Core speed 3.6 gigahertz, 3.7. It's definitely not thermal throttling. Thermal throttling, if I can pronounce it correctly. So yeah, it seems to work perfectly fine. Now I'm gonna drop the microphone. Almost dropped it. So everything seems to work as it should. Now once I've got it installed in the case, I'll leave a comment down below on the temperature readings I'm getting regarding my little 3D printed spaces there to keep everything nice and cozy in there. I mean, we've got a 8-core CPU. Yeah, is it an 8-core? Yeah. Still running fine. Alright, thank you for watching the video. Let me know your thoughts. Cheers.